The journey of Bobemi Amas has taken him from southern Nigeria to a very Welsh village about 20 kilometres northwest of Swansea, which he now calls home.
And free range, because they go way over the fields.
Yes.
Come on. They are great for our eggs.
Oh, I could be coming to ask you for one or two then.
Yeah.
This really gets my deep umbilical cord.
Yeah.
This takes me back to when I was young.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so beautiful.
Amas has embraced Welsh culture. Fresh cawl has become one of his all-time favourite dishes. It reminds him of goat soup from West Africa.
Champion.
He's torn between support for the Ospreys and the Scarlets.
If you show some respect to your hosts, an appreciation of who they are, and you don't only come just to tell them what you think it should be, it becomes a lot easier.
But 12 kilometres away from his new home in the coal mining valleys of South Wales, a town elected its first BNP councillor in 2008.
Different countries have their BNPs.
We don't care where they're coming from. This country is full and it's time to shut the door.
The BNP is an extreme party. They are believing in the fears they have, and sometimes these fears might be real to them. Act 1, Scene 1, from the top.
Amas is a Nigerian musician and writer on a one-man mission to prove that encounters between Welsh and African culture can change people's lives for the better.
I've never worked in African Jakarta before.
And that's kind of been my life's work, working with younger people.
When not producing a play, Amas might be painting, making sculpture, composing music, or working as a consultant with community groups across Wales. Amas and his wife Obi moved to the UK from Nigeria in 2000. In 2003, they faced a new challenge, becoming the first African family to settle in the South Wales village of Cross Hands. Amas, a one-man publicity machine, is spreading the word about the approaching premiere of his play to Cross Hands shopkeepers and neighbours.
I don't get ill often, touch wood, but I guess I remember my face.
Is Cross Hands, a village which got its name for being a prisoner transit point between Carmarthen and Swansea, ready for a challenging new vision of Welsh-African relations?
How are you? I like to leave a poster for a play that I wrote. Now let's see if the chemist is still, it looks open. It should be open till 6, I guess.
Yeah, we'll sort that out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Jacombal. I have never had any trouble in Cross Hands. It's quite a very peaceful neighborhood, and people are quite friendly. Hey! How are you? If you're standoffish and you don't seem to blend with the community you're getting into, that's your fault, I would say. Hello. This is a very good restaurant. I stepped up from Vindaloo to Fowl, so I'm all spiced up now. A pint?
These neighbours remember the day that Amas and Obi moved into the village.
Remember removal van coming there, yes? Yeah. I think he must have been the first one to come.
African.
African, yeah. They voted him in because he brought money into the...
I remember him coming here. I remember you coming here, and your wife?
Oh, well, yes.
Coming here when Obama was voted in as president of
yes.
the USA.
That's
I remember
true.
you coming in and they said it's a day to celebrate, you said.
That's right.
True?
Very, very true.
Amas was commissioned to write and direct a play by the Mess Up the Mess Theatre Workshop. It's a lottery-funded showcase for young acting talent in Wales. It's a love story with universal themes, modern-day problems, and an Afro-Welsh twist.
Plays and scripts are... It's an excuse for you to explore.
The casting call was for a play unlike anything these teenage actors had ever encountered.
We have just one belcher. We need a second belcher.
The young cast is expected to make at least a 2-month commitment to a play that introduces a culture they know little or nothing about.
Okay, Katungi, can you stay close to Katungi?
He told us that he came from Africa and he'd be directing our new show. I've never worked in African director before.
Read the script.
And we didn't know Amas at all, so when he came in, he was like, Amas, and then we were like, all right, mate. We always ask sarcastic when someone that we don't know walks in, so, you know.
I have missed you so much. How was school today?
The heart of the story is an intercultural, interracial romance. Katunge, an African boy, and Gwendolyn, a Welsh girl, fall in love.
I'm sorry, I got upset. You know I love you.
The story does not unfold in predominantly white Wales or in predominantly black Africa, but in a fictional country called Walganda, where racial divisions no longer confine friendships.
The issues of intercultural intermarriages now is no more a big deal. This is my fertility maiden. That's what it's called.
Mixed-race children are the largest growing racial group in the UK today. But mixed-race couples didn't always have it so easy, as Amar's wife, Obi, can testify.
I grew up in Nigeria. I was born in Nigeria to a Nigerian father and a white British mother. My parents met in the 50s when my father came to the United Kingdom to study. He was an engineering student and he met my mother. She was studying chemistry. Racism was rife at the time they met. So there was this young black boy going out with a young white woman, and it wasn't very easy for them. After their wedding, my father took my mother back to Nigeria, and that's where I was born.
Amas, the art student, and Obi, the law student, met at university in Nigeria. They eventually married, had a couple of kids, and in 2000 decided to try life in the UK.
This time we felt, okay, we need to have a change of scene and give the children a choice as well.
The children decided to attend university in Swansea. Swansea has long been a magnet for Nigerian and international students. Obi's brother is a law professor at Swansea University. Swansea has one of the larger Nigerian communities outside London.
Swansea being a university town, that really helped. I'd probably say about 60% are from Nigeria who are part of our congregation.
From multinational Swansea, Amas and Obi moved to Cross Hands. A backlash to immigration resounded loudly during the last general election.
Whether it's Islamic immigration, coloured of any sort, whether it's the Poles who flooded this country is full and it's time to shut the door. Yeah!
Back in 2008, the town of Llandybia, about 12 miles west of Cross Hands, elected its first BNP councillor.
Different countries have their BNPs. And they say, oh, these guys are coming to take our jobs. Oh, corner shops all over the place. I used to own a jazz club in Swansea. And I remember once a guy came to the club, we served him a beer, and he came over to me and showed me his arm and peeled it up, and the sign BNP was there. He said, do you know what that means? I said, yeah. So you know what that means? I said, yeah. I said, yeah. Well, you're welcome here. He kept coming back.
Last year, there were over 1,900 racist incidents reported in South Wales.
I reckon that if I had gone, oh, no, you're not allowed in here, get out, you know, blah, 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 then he'll get satisfaction from, oh, I've shaken one guy. Who next? My wife, Obi, all she might have faced is institutional racism, where it is not a single person coming to you in your face. It's a case of you're a lawyer, you are very qualified and you can't get a job. All you can get is a cleaning job if you're lucky.
I came full of enthusiasm, thinking, oh, I can easily get a job, I've got qualifications. It does something to your confidence to come in, thinking you're qualified to do a job and then finding that no one really thinks you are, you know.
Obi was a magistrate in Nigeria with the potential of becoming a judge. But in Britain, she was considered unqualified to practice law. She has since passed the UK bar exam and now works as a planning manager for the NHS. In between play rehearsals, Amas and Obi occasionally team up to bring the sounds and tastes of Africa to the Welsh valleys. This bridge-building soiree is part of a Welsh Assembly scheme called Communities First. It's the first of its kind at the New Bridge Rugby Club, about 60 kilometres east of Cross Hands.
Different cultures are coming into the valleys. People are not used to it, and it can affect more of the older generation with change, really. When trouble starts, then they associate it with that, and they just want to keep their valleys Welsh.
My grandson says to me, "Are you European?" And I say, "No, I'm not. I'm Welsh." And we've got our own culture. But I feel now, as an older person, that they've taken all that away from us. Our chapels, our everything, because we're having an influx of different nationalities, all our customs are going away.
Amas and Obi see their mission to enrich, not endanger, another culture.
Okay, let's take it again and let's have more volume.
I have missed you very much. How was school today?
I have a lead part, a shepherd named Katungi, meaning rich or something like that.
What made it doubly interesting was Katungi was being played by a Welsh boy. The very name Katungi, geez, that's a totally different tongue formation. An experience with a different spice could virtually change your day.
How was school today?
It was fun.
It's an injection which it now begins to grow inside them.
So you're now a vet. You don't even go to school to learn about animals.
It makes the world smaller.
With my experience as a shepherd, I can show you how.
With my experience as a shepherd, I can show you how. Katungi in the play is a cattle rearer boy whose father is very rich. Take it again. Project. Now, Gwendoline is a lovely Welsh girl who was more prone to going to school, and Katungi felt that it was a better life than to be in the fields and tend the cows and get engaged with nature. And that was where the problem started.
It was a bit of a mixture of things that happen in Wales and things that happen in Uganda, and it was just going through like their life a bit, really.
What are you sorry about?
Are you not upset?
Yeah, but you're not.
She missed Katungi a lot because she wasn't with them, and he missed her a lot, but they thought they were taking it too fast.
The love story unfolds against a backdrop of deep poverty and a local industry causing massive pollution. Not exactly light entertainment, but themes that echo personal experiences of Amas, as well as harsh realities in Wales today.
Are you coming with me or what? My mates will be here in 1 minute.
It was about two young people who had lots of problems in their lives, and I was one of their problems. I don't like pollution, so when I come on stage the first time, I'm yelling.
I'm tired of all this shit pollution and all these crops dying and no food and no money and all these kids following me around. And all that, you know, it gets on my nerves.
Don't like pollution in my world.
Well, there's a group of people called Yobs, and they decide to protest towards Mr. Belcher.
Ladies and gentlemen, the plants bring jobs. The incinerator, even more jobs. The investors need to see profit. The chairman deserves a big bonus. No!
Belcher! Shut your stinking mouth and sit down!
They protest so much that he decides to reduce the carbon emissions at the plant.
Amas witnessed firsthand how pollution can destroy lives and communities.
Where I come from, in the Delta region in Nigeria, there's loads of waters and fishing. It's quite easy to access food, like crayfish. Until the oil companies came, though, and all the water got polluted. My village, Dale in Warri, had fish coming up, belly up. I had a first-hand observation and experience of how pollution could really affect the environment and therefore the people and their feeding patterns and their economy and their lives and the whole thing, the fabric. So in the play, it was quite easy for me to tap into that route. And also coal mining is, though that for me is a bit quite tricky these days. I'm still trying to look into whether coal mining is really wrong or right.
Amarsa's new home in Cross Hands is also a community that has lost its traditional means of livelihood. It's a history as close as his own backyard. A history that was lived by his neighbour, Glyn Daniel.
For how long did you work in the mines?
36 years underground.
Yes.
Mostly on the coal face.
The new Cross Hands colliery boasted the best coal in the world.
Most of the boys, men, as I worked with, most of them passed away, you know. There's a pit shaft just by there. The engine house was somewhere around here. This was where they had the steam to drive the carriages down.
Miles of forgotten tunnels remain underground.
You can say it's about, altogether, 3 miles underground.
Underground?
Yeah.
Amars is not the first African to embrace Welsh culture.
Tell about a black man to work on the pit.
Well, what about it?
Why, damn and blasted, man, I'll be all black down that pit.
In the 1940s, Paul Robeson, an African-American singer and actor, embraced the culture, broke racial barriers, and took a controversial stand in support of Welsh miners.
He was American, he came over and to join force with the lesser privileged people, got into some trouble. But I knew he sang some big voice sounds, you know. The university I went to, the University of Nigeria at Nsukka, had its drama building named Paul Robeson.
It's time for the first dress rehearsal.
The costuming I did for them is the same I would do for Broadway.
I like the hat.
I like your bangles. That's from Primark. If I give anyone a costume, it could be a pair of glasses, a piece of cloth, whatever I give to you as your costume, so you own your costume straight away. We keep them in the corner somewhere. I give them my best walking sticks, my best hats, my original masks. Some about 100 years old, I give them the very best. I was anxious for them to have a true taste, not a semblance. Hands up, please.
It was a good experience to do something to do with a different culture towards our own. So we learned about their costumes and their clothes and things, and their instruments and how they live.
They had dresses on and things, so they look proper African-y, yeah.
Who amongst you has a traditional Welsh outfit? With a bonnet, with a proper...
Mine's like this big.
He was a bit frustrated that I think he thought that it was a bit too much to do with Africa, and there wasn't quite enough Welsh culture in there, but we got there in the end.
I think he was a bit annoyed with some of the people who know Welsh but didn't use Welsh.
This is Wales, and we need to demonstrate that this place is also in Wales.
He's got a rugby top, yeah?
Okay, rugby top, but who's got a traditional with a bonnet?
I've just got the bonnet, I've just got the hat.
Yeah, the hat. Who can borrow, please?
We added a couple of pieces of Welsh things in, so you could tell it was Wales, and there was some of the drum players wore Welsh costumes, Welsh rugby t-shirts and stuff.
Act 1, scene 1, from the top. The play is starting. In my work, what I've noticed is that there is social poverty, the lack of social mobility, lack of influence of family. Younger ones believing they know it all. lack of formed community, which Africa has, which Nigeria has in quantum.
Quiet in the house.
Two takes.
The main part that I did was the solo singer. It was a song that I sang for Gwendolyn because she was missing Katungi.
I could hold you for 1,000,000 years
to make you feel my love.
No money.
Bum.
No jobs.
Bum.
No crops.
Bum.
No these.
Sorry. Sorry. It's okay. No, your fault. No, your fault.
Oh my God, are you okay?
Okay, so finally some excitement, I see. I'd like to thank you guys for today. I think you were just marvelous. Come on, have a round of applause for all of you.
The Amas one-man publicity machine also hit the local airwaves.
Keep it locked on Radio Cardiff 98.7 FM. So if you're listening, we want a tour. Because it sounds like it's a good thing to travel around Wales. As we were saying, there's a lot of poverty-stricken areas. And if we can take it around Wales and then across to Nigeria, Uganda, what a great way to pass a message.
Yep. We have 1 hour, 7 minutes to rehearsal, so this hat is not going to happen today. I can't even have access tomorrow. Today's Thursday, so, and the play is Saturday. But no matter what happens, the play is going to go on. So.
You might want to get a shot. I see the light.
Stronger! Again, no, please.
No! I'm a chief. I should banish you to the cornfields for saying such things.
Take it from the top. It's too soft and too no passion. Much like the Katungi, Gwendolyn parts in the play. The romance of Nigeria and especially Swansea, it's been growing nicely.
Is the play really about Katunge and Gwendolyn? Or is it about the encounter between Nigeria and Swansea?
You have quite a number of students who pay quite some hefty fees and they keep the place going, they're having a good time.
I just finished my master's degree in finance.
International relations. Aerospace.
In spite of Swansea's large Nigerian community, Amas was incredulous to discover that an authentic Nigerian restaurant had opened there.
My friend mentioned to me, is a Nigerian restaurant in Swansea. I said, what? He said, yes, there's a Nigerian restaurant. I said, African? He said, no, Nigerian. I said, you must be kidding me.
I'm making beans and plantain porridge. Sometimes we call it bachelor's food because it's the easiest thing for the bachelor man who doesn't have a wife to prepare. It brings them the memory of home.
One thing led to the other, and it blossomed into such love that at the end of the play, they eventually got married.
Mum, Dad, we have an important announcement to make. Please, everybody, listen. We're getting married.
This calls for celebration!
In a case of life imitating art, an African wedding came to Wales when Amas and Obi's daughter, Omawumi, got married in cross hands.
It was a big surprise. We just saw a couple of people going up the road and we thought, what's going on? So we didn't have a clue. They had lovely headdresses, long, very, very colourful, very beautiful gowns on. And the gentlemen were also in national costumes.
We had a dozen people staying here from Nigeria in a traditional African dresswear, very colourful. The children are very pretty. I haven't seen anything like that in Croissants. I'm not sure if the older gentleman in the bar might have seen something, but it was obviously a first for me.
It was absolutely fantastic and very nice people. They were all saying hello as they were walking past. I'd say the first African wedding in Croissants itself. It was lovely African music. It wasn't nothing like the music you've got of youngsters today.
I want to give the impression that the sunlight is very strong. So it would be nice to see some shadows, which normally every director wants to avoid. But I love shadows because it's true to life, isn't it? In Africa, you see your shadows. They go with you everywhere. You can hardly get away from them.
That's all right then, yeah?
You look great, sincerely.
But you sounded like as if you were a bit sarcastic there.
No, there's no sarcasm. Yeah, if anything, it's envy. I am very, very jealous. And don't push your luck.
Everyone looks really cool in the costume. We haven't seen them in like fully costumes and stuff yet, so it's really, really cool.
The play is about to have its Welsh premiere.
I'm really nervous about tonight, hoping everything will go well and
Slightly nervous about it.
I forgot my lucky bracelet.
They're quite excited, and that's so really pleasing to see that they're happy. I'm jumpy.
Hey, lovebirds! What's going on in here? Get a room!
Dummy! Get away!
No jobs! No money!
Mum, Dad, we have an important announcement to make. Please, everybody listen. We're getting married.
You're getting married!
My parents and my family decided they thought it was really good, and they were influenced by it, and they thought it was very mature for a group of our age to be doing something like that.
The ripple effects of this bridge-building enterprise are spreading outwards.
I'd love to go to Africa because I hear it's nice, warm weather, very warm out there. There's lots of new people to meet out there, and you can teach them things like Welsh.
It makes me feel like as if this whole drama thing is like a family. It makes me feel like all of us are a family together.
If you don't have your own roots, the tree is going to die. It's okay if you want to go to California, Rio de Janeiro, but please pack a bag of Welsh.